Stay tuned for another 5 minutes and we'll talk about hopes and dreams and unicorns. Join me. What the heck is taking so long? The FAA is currently under the leadership of Acting Administrator and U.S. DOT Deputy Secretary Polly Trottenberg. But last weekend, the tabloids were full of the second go-around of the likely nomination of Michael Whitaker, the former FAA Deputy Administrator. And he served from 2013 through 2016. And he's the current commercial officer of Hyundai's eVTOL company, Supernal. But even if he is nominated, Mr. Whitaker has to be confirmed by the Senate. And that's what gets a little tight, because there's only a few legislative days left in the current session. And then there's this sprint to the end of the fiscal year. And there's a battleground on NDAA, there's a battleground on the FAA reauthorization, and there's like almost 265 generals waiting in line. It just seems like, you know, how do you get that into the queue? Just don't know what's taking so long. FAA is an important place. It ought to have a permanent leader. Bring on the heat! Not the Miami Heat, even though that's pretty close by. But I recently saw a video of a lady that baked a loaf of bread in her mailbox. Yes, most of the country is sweltering. And as heat is in the headlines, American Airlines is using something called heat to save the day. Airline operations are planned months in advance, well ahead of it. And you know, the hard part isn't that a line of thunderstorms comes in and stops everything. The hard part starts when those thunderstorms pass and you're trying to recover. So American has developed a technology that helps with the operation to keep moving. And since they've avoided the headlines of stranding thousands of passengers, like other unnamed airlines, that's at least one metric that we should use to say that, hey, maybe that's the thing that's working. So it's called the Hub Efficiency Analytics Tool. HEAT, okay. Maybe in this unbelievably hot time period, they could have come up with a better acronym, but hey, maybe it works. It moves schedules around customers and crews and aircraft and considers weather and passenger load factors, connections and gate availability and all the other stuff, including ATC constraints, all the good stuff. But since its deployment, it has prevented over 1,000 flight cancellations. That is good news. So this is pretty awesome stuff. And I would love to hear, if anybody's got any info, what other people might be doing so we don't get stranded at airports. Leave me a comment. Hey, a while ago I talked about whether this was the safest period in aviation or not, but I will say it's probably the luckiest period, maybe. We learned a lot about the Ostrom-Bergstrom Airport a while back in February when a near collision occurred very close to the runway. And now Austin is back in the news again. An Allegiant Air was cleared to land, but once again the pilot made the correction. A pilot had to make the call to go around due to a small plane in its way. What was that small plane doing? Crossing the final? Really? Something really weird going on at Austin. Even weirder is that's all we know, is that the event occurred and not one piece of information out of the FAA, NTSB, anybody, not even their local news media about anything further. We need to keep our eye on that. Is Austin a hot spot, or is this something we just say that it just goes away and we'll be okay? I'm not okay. Hey, when we think of AAM, we usually go straight to eVTOLs and sometimes autonomous operations. But a company called Skyryse, a California-based startup, has taken a completely different approach. And with fingers crossed, with great success. The FAA has confirmed that Skyryse has met all the terms of their means of compliance, clearing the path to be able to apply for a supplemental type certificate for their flight operating system. It is a highly automated flight control system. They're going to start with a Robinson R66 helicopter, and that flight operating system replaces the complex flight controls, a cyclic and a joystick, with a touch screen and a joystick. It's kind of like flying with an iPad. This is a serious game changer. Helicopters are incredibly complex machines and very difficult to fly. And Skyryse has changed that into something that is simple, and includes flight envelope protection, something that doesn't occur on lower cost units. And they have done it with a Robinson, something that is, sort of, the starting point of where you get trained in and the starting point of where you can buy helicopter technology. This lays the groundwork for better flight systems for all the new AAM vehicles. Well done, Skyryse. I have super high hopes for the future of aviation, including autonomy. I don't think that it will come anytime soon. In my opinion, it's kind of shaped by things like what's happening in San Francisco. A group of activists found out that you can disable a Waymo or a Cruise robotaxi by placing an orange cone on the hood. Yes, an orange unicorn. The Safe Street Rebel group has been creating immobile orange unicorns all over the city, protesting the safety of driverless vehicles. And I'm not sure what happens if an autonomous eVTOL how that would react if a passenger pulls out an inflatable orange cone and sticks it on the nose. I'm sure the FAA will have a test for something like that, and they should, because that's not crazy. United just had to divert a flight headed to Amsterdam to Chicago because a passenger lost their mind over their first class meal. Passengers are goofy and probably should protect for that. So how do we get ready for the future? I have no idea with this kind of crap going on. Leave me a comment, leave me your thoughts, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe if you want to hear more, leave me a comment, something, let me know you're out there. Country is sweltering. Shit. Ah, crap.